Alright, so here's a part 2 to this Uniden Washington that came in. So I already fixed the channel display. I contacted the customer and he wanted to go with one of the blue channel displays and then with the blue mode indicators. But I'm already starting on the recapping here, and I already started on the filter cap and on the power supply side. Done a few caps already, cleaned up around the VCO area here. This was just packed full of glue around that capacitor in there, around these transistors in here. He was just packed. I mean, look what I already have already, and I haven't even gone halfway through this radio. So, but once I got to the crystal area here, man, let me tell you, that glue is already turning all the components around there into just green death. And when you look at the crystals already, you can see that they're starting to corrode. So I'll end up swapping, you know, so putting some new crystals in. But one of the important things to do, whether you like it or not, is to not only remove the glue around the components that you're working on, but you have to, if you think the glue is underneath something like the crystal, whatever, you're gonna have to pop the crystal out, because cleaning the glue around the components isn't gonna do much. You know, you have to physically take the components out, remove the glue, kind of neutralize it with some, you know, with some acetone, and then either put your components back in, or if they're too far gone, you know, put in some new components. So yeah, it's one of the reasons why recapping is super important, because it's kind of like when you're recapping, you can kind of see, you know, in your area there what's going on. So you might not be able to get all the glue out of it if you're just going after glue. But if you're going to be recapping, you know, and chances are you're going to be going through the whole radio here, you're going to find glue that you probably wouldn't have found if you weren't recapping. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's super important to, when you are recapping, to also remove the glue. Take the components out if you have to. You know, super, super, super important, because these crystals are on their way out. So I just figured I'd share that first. All right, guys. All right, so I've made some progress here with this Washington. It's completely recapped, and I got the clarifier unlocked. And you can see meter's looking way better now. Channel display is looking really good, and I found a nice shade of blue to match the channel display. So this thing's looking good. Clarifier is unlocked. So yeah, this was just a ton of glue everywhere. This capacitor here was right beside the VCO. And you can see the glue that was just poured right down in there. And all the other chunks from just different areas of the radio. This thing was just packed full of glue. But yeah, it's looking good. Like I said, recapped. Yeah, this thing was just full of glue right in there and in there. But I found two good crystals that I had, so I put those two crystals in. I upgraded the cap. This one's now a 4750 volt cap. The transformer, remember the power cord was coming up and around, and it was just done wrong. So I redid that, redid the wiring, so now it's going through the actual grommet there. And we can flip it over. You can actually see. So that's way better wiring. And I have the resistor that's connected to the chassis, to the actual case, connected again in circuit, because that was broken off. So it's safer now, and it's done correct. And channel mod was removed. So the clarifier, so this is what, really easy to do. Really easy to do on these. So you have, so there's the clarifier potentiometer, right? So you have the top wire is, so it goes orange with the white stripe, and then red with the white stripe. So what you want to do is you want to take, so the orange and the red with the white stripe normally go to this board right here. So desolder it off this board. What you're going to do is the ground, you're going to give it, the orange, you're going to give it ground. So anywhere on the ground plane, chassis ground. And then the red and the white wire, you want to get an 8-volt constant. So you can get that at pin 1 there. And yeah, so that's what you do with the clarifier. Now, you want to remove. There's 2 components you're going to remove. You're going to remove D36, which is right here. Right in there. And then you're going to remove R187. So R187 is right there. So that's it. R187, D36, and then you do that. You rewire the clarifier potentiometer like that. That's it. That's it. So you want to do that before you align this, and then just follow the regular alignment. You don't need to do anything special. Yeah, just follow the regular factory alignment. So now, obviously, this is a Uniden, so you're not going to find a service manual specifically for this. So this is what I use. I use Sam's 219 for the Cobra 140 and the 142 GTL. It's the same. It will get you, 99% of the way there. So obviously these Uniden Washington, so that you're not going to have the SWR option on this one. So, but everything else is pretty much the same. You can also use the TRC, I think it's the 490. You can use that manual too, but this is the one I use. You can see it's kind of beat up, and so not only do I use it for the Cobras, but also for the Uniden Washington. So this is no good for the President Washington, right? Because that's a D858 chassis. So if you actually want the President Washington, you can get it in the Sam's manual. So that's CB128 if you're doing if you're working on a President Washington. So just something to consider if you're new and you're trying to align your own maybe your President Washington, and you're trying to find a manual. Yeah, this is not the one. You want the CB128, or you can actually find them online. I think cbtricks.org is where you want to go, because cbtricks.com is not working. Hasn't been working for a while. But another option is Worldwide DX. I think they have the forums there are pretty good. You can find a lot of stuff there too. But on this model here, anything Uniden, you're going to be out of luck as far as manuals go. But like I said, the Cobra 140 GTL, 142 GTL will get you 99% of the way there. So that's what I'm doing. So now the only thing left is to align this, and then just give it a good cleaning, and that's about it. So yeah, why don't we plug this in, plug the mic in, and you can see now the clarifier. Try to key up here with alright. So you have a lot, there's a lot there. Those clarifiers open right up. So Yeah. That's good. Yeah, let me get this cleaned up. I'll get the bottom back on. I'll get the cover back on, and we can see how it sounds after I align it. All right, guys, stand by. All right, so I'm just about done with the alignment here. Just a few more steps. So I'm adjusting the driver and the final bias. But I wanted to point out that what you want to do is you want to set the main voltage here at 13.8 first, before you start adjusting the driver and the final bias, because it does have an effect on it. So when I checked the voltage there at that transistor there, what is it, TR301, it was at like 15.5 volts. So somebody had turned up this thing to almost 16 volts, so probably to get more power out of it. But you know, the only thing you do is you just put everything through way more stress. So that's adjusted back down to 13.8 volts. So now, so the driver adjustment is there, VR8, and the final bias is there, VR9. So, and these things are super sensitive. So you want the driver at 35 and the final at 45. And we're at 44.3. So let's get that adjusted a little bit better. I think that's the best we're going to get with this super touchy. So yeah, 45.5 is good. So yeah, just a quick like a tech tip, I guess, you know, for those who are going to be doing this at home. So yeah, set the make sure you got 13.8 volts first, and then set your driver and your final bias. All right. Yeah, we're looking good here. This radio, when I did the receive, we definitely got way more sensitivity out of on the receive portion of this radio, so it's looking good. Alright, so I got you guys zoomed in on both the oscilloscope and the RF power meter. So adjusting the VR7 here for, so channel 19 upper sideband, we'd be adjusting VR7. So that's to adjust the ALC for 11 watts PEP. So that's what they want you to adjust it at. You can get a little bit more out of it without sacrificing audio quality. So the way to do this is to use both the meter and the oscilloscope. And so we're going to use a two-tone test, because that's the way we get like a halfway decent waveform on the oscilloscope on sideband. And we're going to adjust it to the max, and you're going to see how the waveform is just going to start to look distorted. And then we'll set it at 11 PEP. You'll see the waveform, and then we'll tweak it a little bit more, and then we'll max it out, and then you guys can see how, yeah, you can get 20 watts peak out of, you know, a radio like this on sideband, but it doesn't mean you're gonna sound good. So you'll see what I mean. So let me get a two-tone test on here. Get the mic over there. All right, now we're on upper sideband. All right, you see that? It's a pretty good waveform, and we're at like just around 12 or so. So let me adjust this VR7 here, and you can see what I mean. So getting more, a little bit more. We're approaching 20. You can see the waveform starting to look a little unstable, and then that's maxed out. So that's how this radio was set up from when I got it. VR7 was turned all the way up. Yeah, you can get 20 watts peak out of it, but that waveform is essentially how you're going to sound on the other end. So now we can get a little bit more out of, let me just turn this off temporarily. You can get a little bit more out of it, a little bit more than 11 watts. But that's why having an oscilloscope helps, because you can actually see at the point of where the waveform starts to distort, and you back it off a little bit. So yeah, like right around 18 or so. So that's how I adjust the ALC whenever I can. So yeah, that's just something that I want to show you guys. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's exactly how, whenever I adjust the ALC on sideband, that's how I like to do it. I like to both have a power, an RF power meter, and an oscilloscope, because it kind of helps. You know, the waveform is super important to know. You know, so hope that helps anybody out there. All right, stand by. This alignment is pretty much done. I'm going to get this thing cleaned and back together, and we can do a test how she sounds on a monitor radio. All right, stand by. All right, guys, she's all done. Got the face cleaned, knobs cleaned, everything's done. Alignment, clarifier. She's on frequency, and so let's see what we're doing for sensitivity. And this one just came out really, really good. So yeah, I got a hooked up to the signal generator. Alright, we got a 12 dB of synad, minus 110, minus 115 dBm at 12 dB of synad. That's a really, really good sounding, really good receiving radio. Yeah, so let's see what she's doing for power now. We get the dummy load hooked up, and the RF watt meter. Stand by. All right, my gain's up. Dead key like 4. Audio. Right around 11, 12. Let's go to upper sideband. Audio. 1820. Lower sideband. Audio. Alright. Not bad. And the only thing left to do is let's get her on air, see if we can possibly get a radio check, or I don't know. Yeah, let's see. 27.185. Sorry, that one's tough to read. But yeah, she's right on frequency. Yeah, let me put her on air and see if we can get some skip rolling in. Stand by. All right, so she's complete, done. I like the display and the mode indicator and the white LED. The bright white LED looks great on the meter. So let's see if we can get some skip.
El buzón, mi hermano, gracias por la pruebita y ya está saliendo bien. No me ha enviado un retrato ni nada, te está guiando y todo eso está bien, no te preocupes. Yo te cojo dando, Willy, tú. Mira, ahí está prendido, ahí. Se va a prender el ojo, se va a prender los jugates, ojo. Se va a prender los jugates, oye. No te quiero buscar por allá.
Sorry guys, there's not much skip coming in today. Kinda sucks. But what I'll do is, for the final part of this video, I will get this hooked up and back onto the dummy load, and we'll see how it sounds on the monitor radio. Yeah, that's about it, guys. Alright, stand by. Alright, let's see how it sounds on the monitor radio here. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. How's this sound? How's this Washington sounding? Sounding pretty damn good if you ask me. Yeah, this Washington sounding really, really nice. Did a good job on this one again. Yeah, this one's ready to go back to its owner. Alright guys, on to the next one. Thanks for watching.